Yeah, we are speaking about organizational effectiveness. What do you mean by effectiveness? When we call the organization as effective, if the organization overall, if it achieves its goals and objectives using available resources efficiently and sustainably, then it is called as organizational efficiency. Resources means what are all the resources include? Resources include all the people in the organization, the available raw material, financial efficiency of the organization, and overall culture also. It should sustain the culture, and by our availing everything, it needs to achieve its own mission and vision. Then it is called as organizational efficiency. And also its value should deliver for the stakeholders in a positive way. So organization efficiency, it's nothing but it is doing the right things in the right way. Next slide వస్తలేదు. Both short it should meet its both short term performance as well as long term sustainability in a positive way. Then it is called as efficiency. Effectively organization is utilizing each and everything. Effective organization not only meet their own internal goals, but also it respond well to the external demand and changes such as market composition, technological change, and all the environmental factors also it needs to consider for the efficiency. And what do you mean by efficiency? Organizational effectiveness. Why we need effectiveness? Effectiveness is critically important. It is very much important because it determines whether an organization can survive, grow, and thrive in a competitive market, and constantly whether it will it will, in the changing environmental conditions, whether it will sustain changing technological condition, whether the organization is able to sustain. Based on that, we can say that organizational effectiveness. It reflects how well an organization aligns its people, process, resources, and all the strategies to achieve the goals. Then, what do you mean by achieving strategic goals? Why we can break down the goals of the organization into effect for the purpose of effective matter. That is achieving strategic goals. If the organization achieves its strategic goals are nothing but ensure that organization meets its mission, vision, and objectives efficiently. Then it is nothing but it achieves strategic goals, and also it keeps on everyone aligned and focused on the uh, true focused on these goals, vision and mission. Then it is called as achieving strategic goal. Without effectiveness, even the best strategies remain just plans on the paper itself. And one more thing for the organizational effectiveness is nothing but maximum use of resources. Maximum use of resources is nothing but it helps organization use its time, money, people, and technology wisely, and it should reduce waste and redundance, improving return on investment. Then it is nothing but maximizing the use of resources. Then enhance productivity, and one more thing is enhancing productivity and performance. Enhancing productivity and performance means overall productivity should increase in the organization. That is, a streamlined process and motivated employees lead to higher output and quality. If in a right manner, if the employees are motivated, then directly it will impact on the higher output. And encourage accountability and better decision-making process in the organization. And organization effectiveness is also based on, it boosts the effectiveness can also be measured based on how it can boost the employee engagement and satisfaction. A healthy, well structured organization fosters on a positive work culture in the organization, and employee feel valued, supported, and empowered, leading to better retention.
Ma'am, we can
Hello.
see only the first
Excuse me,
slide,
ma'am.
that,
Yeah.
and that's not the
Okay.
only.
That is not the slide. Totally, I am explaining the effectiveness means what are all the bases we need to cover for the effectiveness of the organization. That slide is not here. Okay. That slide is not here.
Ma'am, can you make it full screen, ma'am?
It is in the full screen only.
Oh,
It is full screen only.
yeah, presentation mode.
Ma'am, it is not in the presentation mode, ma'am. PPT mode.
Is it not a full screen?
It is not in PPT mode, madam.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿದೆ, ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ನ ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರೆ
ಅಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನನಗೆ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ.
ಹೌದಾ?
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
ಸರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಆ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆಡಿಬಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ.
ಟೋಟಲ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆ, ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಓಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಕೆಲವೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಶೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಸರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
Okay. Organization effectiveness can be measured based on the maximum use of resources, based on its enhancement of productivity and performance, that is the performance of the employees, and encouraging in the organization, encouraging the each and everyone in the organization for the betterment of the betterment of the organization's goal, and for the better decision making in each and every level, and encouraging the accountability for the employees for the better decision making, and boost employee engagement and satisfaction. So healthy, well structured organization fosters on the positive work culture. It will create positive work culture in the organization. Positive work culture definitely will leads to accomplishment of its goals. And employees should feel valued, supported, and empowered, leading to better retention in the organization. Nowadays, it is also challenging to retain the employees in the organization, and because of so many other reasons, not only the financial criteria, other things also plays a role for retaining the employees. A satisfied employee can only retain in the organization. Satisfaction may not be measured only with the help of financial conditions. So many other factors will also important, and also increase customer satisfaction in the for the betterment of the organization. That also helpful for measuring the effectiveness of the organization. And efficient aligned operations deliver better products and better services, and better post purchase behavior from the customers, also important for the for measuring the effectiveness of the organization. It also builds brand loyalty. Because of the efficient alignment of all the resources, it will also create brand loyalty from the customers, and repetitive purchases will happen because of that. And then one more thing for the efficient organization means strengthens adaptability and innovations. Effective organizations are able to adapt the changing technology, changing market conditions, and it can also promote the learning culture that embrace new ideas and continuous improvement in the productive process, and productive process that in turn will satisfy the customers and support long-term sustainability. Organizational effectiveness not only for based on the short-term sustainability. Short-term sustainability is also important, at the same time long-term sustainability. So it should balance both short-term performance as well as long-term vision of the organization. It should encourage ethical practices, and social responsibility, which build trust and reputation. And then it provides a competitive advantage. Organization effectiveness will provide a competitive advantage. That is, in today's fast moving world, being effective means being faster, being smarter, and more resilient than competitors. One can achieve the goals. Companies with high organizational effectiveness leads their industries. So, organizational effectiveness is much important for the betterment of the organization. So, nowadays, Buddhist principles, many of the organizations are following Buddhism principles so that it will leads to effectiveness of the organization. Buddhism offers valuable principles and practices that can be applied to organizational effectiveness. That is, Buddha is given overall for the manifestation of the life, overall, not for organization or commercial establishments, but in general, if we follow his principles, then definitely it will leads to well-being of the organization. Also, we can also apply that principles for the effectiveness and well-being of the organizations. So, we can learn about how the Buddhist teachings can influence organizational management. ಬುದ್ಧ ಆವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಸಚ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ವೆಲ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. The key dimensions of organizational effectiveness. How which are all the things are required for the organizational effectiveness, and how best we can measure the effectiveness of the organization, and what are the important things to make the organizational effectiveness are based on these key dimensions. That is clarity of vision, strategy, clarity of vision, strategy, efficient resources utilization, strong leadership and culture, employee engagement and development, customer satisfaction, innovation and agility, sustainability and social responsibility. These are all the key dimensions. Based on that, organization effectiveness can be measured. For example, clarity of vision and strategy. Without clarity about the vision of the organization, nobody can work out based no. So vision first, there should be clarity on the vision of the organization, not only for the managerial level, even for the employees, middle level as well as lower level employees. For everyone, there should be a clarity. So mindfulness helps leaders and teams to stay grounded in the present, focused on what truly matters, and avoid distractions. So, Buddhism, one of the Buddhism principle is mindfulness. Mindfulness means complete satisfaction. Mindfulness. It is also in Buddhism principle. It is called as sati, or right view. Is also in right view means samadhiti. It is one of the Buddhist principle. So mindfulness helps leaders and teams stay grounded in the present and focused what truly needed, and they can able to avoid the distractions. And right view encourages a clear understanding of reality, seeing things as they are, not as we wish them to be. And then organizational application means strategic planning sessions needed mindful focus, mindfulness focused. Mindfulness can focus properly the strategic plans of the organization, and use of contemplative reflected before making major decisions, and also vision aligned with ethical and purposeful goals. That is right intention. Everything should go with the right intention to meet the vision of the organization. That will be uh, better with the help of one of the Buddhist principle, but in a better way we can plan our vision and we can focus on our vision based on the principles of mindfulness and uh, right view. And then efficient resource utilization. Secondly, efficient resource utilization is one of the other principle of Buddhist principle is Mijama Patipada, that is middle way and non-attachment. So this principle of non-attachment and middle way will encourage us moderation and balance and avoiding excess or waste. Because of the complete because of midway and non-attachment means non-attachment to other things. So non-attachment helps to reduce ego driven consumption or overextension that will leads to organizational efficiency, efficient utilization of the resources. It encourages moderation and balance and avoiding excess of waste. Non attachment helps to reduce ego driven consumption or over relaxation. That is lean operations. Do you heard of lean costing? Lean costing, many of the Japanese organizations are lean costing is actually a new technology, a new costing technology given by Japanese only. Japanese organization mainly focused on Buddhism principles. That's why they are achieving very well when compared to others. Lean operation without overburdening teams. That is, without making stress to the teams. That is, the employees team is comprising of employees or human resource. So without giving stress and burden, lean operations and avoiding wasteful spending on spending unnecessary spending should be avoided, and prioritizing sustainable use of time, talent and technology. Time is very much important, so time and talent technology will be prioritized based on this principle. Then one more principle of Buddhism is strong leadership and culture. Strong leadership and culture is also important for effectiveness. That is based on the Buddhist principle right action, right speech, right livelihood. Strong leadership culture is based on the Buddhist principle right action, right speech, and right livelihood. These ethic based guidelines support moral, passionate leadership and a truthworthy, inclusive culture. So, based on this organization, how we can apply this Buddhist principle for the organizational effectiveness means leaders model integrity, empathy, and non-harmful behavior. Uh, Here, leader should consider each and everyone in the organization uh, in a positive way. They need to encourage them in a positive way without hurting them, without giving much stress to them, and making them understood about the culture as well as the objective of the organization, and in a positive way, molding the employees in the organization in a positive way without giving much stress. The leader should not be a dictator here. So you should have non-harmful behavior. Leaders should have non-harmful behavior. And also there should be transparent, respectful and communication in encouragement. Each and everyone in the organization should be respected in a positive way. We can't treat even the lower level employee should not be treated as just a cogs in the machine, or just spare parts in the machine. Because each and everyone are souls. Yeah, each and every human being is having his own soul. We need to satisfy his own soul. Then he will feel like more motivated to work towards the mm, manifestation of his own satisfaction level as well as for the growth of the organization. So, positively, transparently, respectfully, we need to communicate in the organization. Higher level people need to communicate with each and everyone in the organization. And culture that values fairness, well-being, and shared purpose. And it should have a positive culture. And normally organizations will have different cultured people, but everyone should be taken into granted for confidence, for encouraging. Leaders should take into confidence each and everyone's. They may be from different religion, different background, or different family history, but everyone should be considered. They should their own intention, satisfaction, everything should be considered for encouraging them to work positively. Then one more yeah, principle for the effectiveness of the organization is employee engagement and development. Employee engagement and development is also based on one of the, if it is also given importance for one of the Buddhist practice while employee engagement, that is compassionate, karuna and metta. Karuna and metta, that is loving and kindness, compassion, loving and kindness and right effort. That will leads to proper positive engagement of the employees and positive development in them. So, employee engagement and development should be based on the Buddhist principle of compassion, loving kindness, and right effort. So, cultivating compassion builds trust and psychological safety among the employees. If an employee is psychologically safe, if he feel like safe, then automatically his morality goes on increasing towards the organization. If his morality goes on increasing, he feel like his own workplace should, he will feel the workplace as his own home. If homely atmosphere is created to him, definitely he will contribute towards the betterment of the organization. And that is cultivating compassion builds trust and psychological safety, and right effort motivates continuous self improvement and resilience. So right now, if he is giving kindness and compassionate and karuna, compassionate, everything is given, and if the leader makes each and everyone motivated and feel like homely, and if his morality improves, definitely he will also goes on contributing for the not only for his self improvement, because you know very well self satisfaction is very much important for everyone. So everyone will work, many will leave the organization if they won't satisfied, not only because of money but any other things also. If any politics are going on in the organization, if anything he is not satisfied, if he feel like a stressed atmosphere, then definitely he will search for a new job. So uh, leaders should make the employees feel like it's their own home. So compassionately they should be treated in the organization so that they will put their efforts. So organization application is mentorship, active listening, and emotional support in teams. Active listening means leaders should listen to the employees also actively. He needs to listen to the employees what they are telling. We normally in dictatorship they won't listen to the employees, only they will act whatever they tell. The downstream down level employees, they need to follow. And personal growth opportunities and based on intrinsic motivation, everything, personal growth opportunity will also be based on intrinsic motivation, so such intrinsic motivation should also be given. So, recognition of effort and empathy during stress or failure. Even though there is a failure, at that time also, leaders should lovingly and kindly, he needs to compassionate. Failure is quite common. Sometimes failure will also leads to positive growth only. So, everything should be treated in a positive way. They need to treat that one of the learning ground. Even because of failure also, it will create a learning ground. So in a compassionate mode, leaders should treat. For example, in our university itself, our vice chancellor is a very good listener. Whatever employees tell, he used to listen. Directly, he won't smartly behave. He won't dictate. He will listen, and also whatever things positively we like to express, everything he will listen, and finally, in 1 or 2 sentences, he will give his own justifications for that. So listening, effective listening is also important. ಹೋಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಲೀಡರ್ ಆದವರು ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಏನೇ ಒಂದು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಈವನ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿ, ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಾರ್ಶ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಎ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್. Depressed employee won't motivate for the depressed employee. He won't give any contribution to the growth of the organization. So compassionate and loving kindness, this Buddhist principle is very much important for the cultivation of positive environment and trust and psychological safety of the employees in the organization. Then customer satisfaction. For the effectiveness of the organization, not only the employees, even the customers should also contribute a lot. So customer satisfaction should be based on the Buddhist practice like right speech and passion. Normally, wherever you go for buying anything in a marketplace or any hotel or anything, you'll feel like going to again and again to such a atmosphere itself, or such or brand itself you like to buy. That is based on how they will satisfy you. Even though if you are not satisfied with any of the product, if you reject the product, they need to take it in a positive way, then you will feel like going. ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನೇ ಸಮಾಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರು, ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದೇ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟರ್ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಲಾಯಲ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಬೈ ಕ್ಲಾತ್ಸ್, ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋದ್ರು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಒಂದೇ ಕಡೆ ಲಾಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ವೈ ದೇ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಲಾಯಲಿ ಟು ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಫೀಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಹೋಮ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ನ, ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಾಲಿಟಿ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೋಲ್. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಆ ಶಾಪಿಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈವನ್ ಅದೆಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡೇ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ nobody will feel like buying from that organization. So right speech and compassion is also very much important for the customer satisfaction. So it encourages sincere, respectful communication and genuine desire to reduce suffering or inconvenience for others. ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟರು ಮುಖಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊಡೆದಾಗ ಹೇಗಾದ್ರೂ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಡ, ಅವನೇ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಫ್ರೀಯಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಬಿಸಾಡಿ ಬರೋಷ್ಟು ಕೋಪನೂ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ organizational products. Value addition is very much important. Value addition based on right speech and compassion. So our customer service based on listening and empathy, ethical marketing, no deception or manipulation. Product manipulation should not be there. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಲೂಸ್ your own satisfaction level to that particular organization or particular marketer. Ethical marketing is important. Is based on listening and empathy is important. ನೀವು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಸೇ, ದ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಲಿಸನ್. Then also it will create positive commitment towards the organization and commitment to delivering real value and solutions. These are all the contributions of If these are all based on the contributions of Buddhist principle, definitely it will lead to organizational effectiveness.